Morning.
Good morning. Uh,
So, shall I start? Dr. Nirvay from Team Management.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Same here, sir, same here. It's our pleasure having you both of us this conference. You're most welcome. Can you start? Yes. Okay, so good evening, everyone. It gives me great pleasure to warmly welcome all respected dignitaries, deans, HODs, and faculty members to the workshop on AI-powered teaching and learning, transforming higher education across disciplines. The ITM College Campus Gwalior was established in 2009 with a vision to provide quality technical and professional education. Building on this strong foundation, Vikrant University Gwalior was established in 2022 as a multidisciplinary institution offering programs through its various schools like School of Engineering and Technology, Management and Commerce, Legal Studies, Agriculture Science, School of Pharmacy, School of Humanities and Culture, School of Natural and Applied Science, School of Yoga and Naturopathy, and the School of Arts and Design. Today, deans, HOD, and faculty members from all these schools are actively participated in this workshop. This workshop is an initiative of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering organized under the MOU with Technomit USA. We sincerely acknowledge the valuable support and crucial role played by Mr. Sanjeev Tripathi sir in making this collaboration possible. All faculty members have completed the QR-based survey and the data has been collected by a dedicated survey expert team. Artificial intelligence can be integrated across every school by making teaching, research, and learning smarter from data analysis and smart agriculture to healthcare, legal documentation, business decision making, and creative design. Guided by the vision of leadership through learning, Vikrant University believes true leadership begins with knowledge, innovation, and continuous learning. So now I humbly invite Dr. Atul Kumar sir, our respected Pro Vice Chancellor, our visionary leader, and a humble mentor to kindly deliver the welcome note. Sir, I request you to please come forward.
Thank you so much, madam. Good evening to all, especially our distinguished guest, respected faculty members at Vikrant University, and my dear fellow colleagues. It is indeed a moment of great pride and academic significance for all of us at Vikrant University to welcome you all to this workshop, especially on the topic AI-powered teaching and learning, transforming higher education across the disciplines. Believe you me, the theme of the today's workshop is not merely contemporary, but it is transformational. At the outset, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our Honorable Chancellor, sir, for envisioning the integration of artificial intelligence into the entire university ecosystem. His forward-looking leadership and the commitment to innovations have laid the foundation for positioning Vikrant University as progressive, technology-driven university. The decision to embed AI into our academic framework reflects not only adaptability but strategic foresight of the university. Artificial intelligence, friends, it is now no longer confined to simply the computer science laboratories or even research environment. It is reshaping the entire pedagogical initiatives, redefining the instructional design of the teachers, enhancing assessment strategies, and even personalizing students' learning experience across the disciplines, be it the management, be it engineering, science, humanities, or even commerce. So, as educators, we stand at a critical juncture where we must transition from being passive observer of technological change to active architect of AI-enabled education. So we are deeply honored to have with us two eminent international speakers who brings global expertise and exposure as well as industry insight to this platform. So I warmly welcome Dr. Sumit Maheshwari from Microsoft Corporation, USA, whose experience at the forefront of technological innovation will provide us valuable progressive perspective on integrating AI into academic ecosystem. So we also extend our heartfelt welcome to Mr. Sanjeev Tripathi, the partner at Technobit Solutions, Boston, USA, whose expertise in AI-driven solutions will help us understand the practical implementation framework and industry expectations from academia. Friends, this workshop is not just about understanding simply the tools. It is about transforming the mindset. It is about empowering our faculty members to leverage AI for their lesson planning, for their curriculum enrichment and development, evaluation methodology, research enhancement, as well as meaningful students' engagement. The ultimate goal of this workshop is to prepare our learners not only to use AI, but to lead responsibly in AI-driven world. So as a Pro-Vice Chancellor of the university, I firmly believe that the institutions that integrate artificial intelligence thoughtfully and ethically will definitely define the future of the higher education. And today marks an important and significant step in the direction of for the Vikrant University. So I encourage all the participants to engage actively, ask critical questions, explore applications relevant to your discipline, whether it is law, management, or anything else, and envision how AI can enhance your own academic and professional practices. So with this, once again, I thank to our Honorable Chancellor, sir, for his visionary leadership and our esteemed speakers for joining us early in the morning and all of you for being part of this transformative initiative. So thank you, and I wish you all a highly enriching and impactful workshop. So thank you so much, madam, for giving me an opportunity to talk about the university and welcome our guests and speakers. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, sir, for your inspiring words. Now it is my privilege to introduce our esteemed speakers. We warmly welcome Dr. Sumit Maheshwari, software engineer at Microsoft Corporation USA and co-founder at TechX. His vast experience in technology, innovation, and industry-driven AI solution brings immense value to today's session. We also extend a very warm welcome to Mr. Sanjeev Tripathi, partner at Technobit Solution, Boston, USA. With his extensive professional expertise and global exposure, he brings practical perspectives on AI adoption and technological transformation. I request all participants to actively engage, note down your questions, your queries, and I also respect to our speakers to kindly use a bilingual mode of communication if it is possible. And so, without taking too much time, I invite Dr. Sumit Maheshwari sir to kindly come forward and share his valuable experiences.
Thank you, everyone. I would like to ask, please, Dr. Sanjeev sir, to say a few words, maybe cover a few slides first.
Uh, Thanks, Sumit, and thanks, Madam. Thanks, Honorable Chancellor, sir. Thanks, Vice Chancellor, and other faculty members. So it's a really great honor to have this session with the Vikrant University. And as Sumit mentioned, right now, it's 6 a.m. in Boston, and we are going to see in the slide right now is winter is wrapping up in India. It may be just starting spring there, but we are middle of the winter. You can see the picture, just only on the ground at least 1.5 or 2 feet snow is there. And 2 days back itself, we had quite bit snow, so we are enjoying that. So as Professor Atulji mentioned, right now, this AI, right now we are in middle of this revolution. and it is opportunity. Uh, it's not matter of like some time we just deny for some time it's really like a myth or it's really it's happening. But right now, yeah, it's a happening. And recently, even India, few days back, they also had very large summit on AI. And in fact, I'm in IT industry for over 3 decades, and I have seen a journey starting from just personal computer even without any hard disk and just floppy drives, and then it evolved to really uh, just the where level we are right now. Uh, and then this is another revolution. Similarly, when just computer journey from mainframe or mini to just PC world is started in 80s and 90s, and then internet. That's again in early 2000 .com world, uh, and now we are in AI. And AI is definitely it's not all of a sudden it evolved just in a year or two. It really it also had its long journey. It's almost we can say around 70, 75 years. Okay, it was envisioned in early or around 19 50, and really how machines can really learn and they can be really knowledgeable, and slowly it evolved, and we might see in early 90s when there was chess and some other games were played by just computers. So that was just the beginning, and slowly it evolved, and right now uh, where we are, and right now it's going to be we can see our journey even our phone with whatever everyone has in their head and this gadget, and just it started with just cell phone and now smartphone. So it has really whatever we can think of earlier 10 years, 15 years back, it has a lot more functionality and feature. And similarly, it's going to, believe it or not, it's going to be have everyone's in after a few years personalized AI agent. It can guide because it can understand it really uh, having your all your habits, everything, and it can guide, it can just help you out in day-to-day life. So before really we even myself I'm in IT industry, but still I'm a student of AI, learning a lot more things. So before I would like to invite Sumit. He is the expert in AI, and fortunately he agreed for the sharing his wisdom on this one. So Sumit, uh, over to you now.
Yeah, thank you, Sanjeev ji, and thank you everyone for joining. Your warm welcome has actually made my morning very fresh. So चलो चालू करते हैं. Let's start. Basically, I wanna go like very slow, and feel free to ask your questions. You can use the chat box on the Google Meet. You can also email us. But right now, like just to keep the interactivity, आप chat box use करके and just send us the questions so that we can answer in real time. And we have also received like around 73 responses for our pre-survey, which is really great. So I got a good understanding of the audience now, like what you are, how much you are comfortable with the with using AI in your day-to-day work, and what is the need. And I see like from the survey results, I see that most of you are interested in integrating AI tools into teaching and course design, which is essentially what this workshop is about. Now, before we start uh, the workshop, I want to do like a small exercise to keep myself fresh, and which is this, right? So I just want you guys to scan the QR code if possible, and like once you do that, you will be able to answer, and we will use the same QR, so the QR will not change once you scan it. This will be the same you know Q&A kind of thing, where you can respond, so that I can get a sense of like whether my whatever I'm talking about is getting transmitted or not. So just take out your phones, scan it through your cameras. I see like 6 people have already joined. Let me know, like, as much as responses we can get is good, so that we can get a sense of what's going on. And also, like, I mean, for like, oh, nice partner. Okay, so yeah, of course, and that is actually a correct interpretation. Uh, Assistant. Okay, good, very nice. Um, it's okay, friend. Okay, that's good. Time saver, absolutely, absolutely. And of course, like, if you think about it, right, it's not something where we to whom you can rely 100%, but you can definitely rely upon it, like, for some of the tasks which are menial, the tasks which are like boring, day to in day to day, so that you can free up your creative mind to do something worthwhile, more meaningful, right? Awesome, awesome. Yeah. So we see, like, a lot of people are saying, like, AI is like a resource for teachers, which is good. And friend is the second top thing here. Companion, which is synonymous to friend, and chalk in the digital wall. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. Thank you so much for your responses. And we will come back to this. So I would like to start and keep answering. If you have already scanned the QR code, it's good. If not, we will come back to this. So this is what it is, right? The Indian higher education paradox. We are moving on from, like, administrative overload. So basically, I have made this slide left to right, but you can read it from right to left. So when I say left to right, as in, like, you want to go from administrative overload, documentation fatigue, faculty burnout, towards outcome based education, better learning plans, better COPO mapping, your course objective, program objective mapping, making sure that the NAC NBA compliance is there, governance is there. And uh, we have seen in during the AI summit that how important it is to bring your own innovation at the forefront. And all those things can be done with the help of, like we said, we have learned that AI is a friend for teachers, right? So with the help of a great friend like AI, who is at your service 24/7, right? So it's like your personal assistant, personal friend, who you can wake up in the night and say, like, hey, can you help me with this? But sometimes what happens, just like a lazy friend, it's like, okay, I'm too busy right now. Can you ask me later? Or if the person is sleepy, if your friend is sleepy, then the friend will be like, okay, I'll do it, but I'll do it half-heartedly. But you want somebody who can actually understand you in a first go, first, like, in the first prompt. In the prompt engineering, you say, like, if I am asking you to do something, do it in the first go, and that will be the best. It saves server resources, it saves your time, your resources, and it also keeps you, like, on time for the task which you have planned during your day. Some of the problems with the AI is that it's very uncertain right now, right? And when I say uncertain, it's like, you ask something and it gives you something else, and then you're like, okay, no, do this, and then you see, like, if you look at your watch, you'll see, like, oh, I wasted like 20 minutes to just get this answer which I already knew. So it is more like a confirmation bias. So you are confirming something which you already know. As a professor, I was a professor myself. I taught 1 year in Bangalore in a private university. I understand the pain point of students. I understand the pain point of teachers, right? Sometimes you are not looking for, like, answers, because you already know the answers. You have done your studies. You already know the answers from the books, by the books, right? What happens is, you're looking for somebody to tell you, yes, you're doing right, and that is what a friend is about, and that is what we are using AI for, right now. But we want more than a friend, more than a companion. We want somebody who can actually reliably answer your questions, not just answer questions, right? So that brings me to what AI actually is. So if you think about it, right, it's nothing more than what you have learned in your statistics classes, or what you teach in your stats classes, which is like prediction probability. Now, how the AI works in the background is, like, when we build the models. When I build the model, this is what I do. I convert all my data to numerical numbers, which are called embeddings. Some of you might know. Do not get boggled down on the big words. अगर आपको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, please feel free to ask. The reason I'm telling you the word embedding is because it's very difficult. Like, my name is Sumit, and Sanjeev sir's name is Sanjeev, right? And if I ask, like, what's the similarity between our names, you might say, like, okay, my name is 5 characters and his name is like 6 7 characters. Okay, so okay, there is a 2 character is that the definition we are seeking? Probably not. What else are we seeking? Are we looking at more than just the number of letters in the name? Probably similarities. Okay, both the names start with S. Okay, that's a good thing. But what else? Are we looking at the interpretative meaning of the names? Like, what is the meaning of Sanjeev, right? And what is the meaning of Sumit? And if we can map the meanings and say, like, okay, these meanings are like not so similar, but not so far apart. Now we are talking about semantic meaning of things. And how does the computer understand the semantic meaning of things? Is by converting words to the numbers, because it's easy to find the difference between numbers, add up the numbers, calculate the product, all sort of mathematical calculation you can think about. So conversion of words or paragraphs or sentences to numbers is called embedding. And if you remember about the Euclidean distance, all these machine learning AI models are actually finding the Euclidean distance between these two vectors. So once you convert them into like 100 dimension, we can convert in 2 dimension, which is like, let's say for our names, the starting letter is 1 dimension and the length is 2 dimension. But you can keep converting into like more and more dimensions. So you can keep adding like thousands of dimensions. Once you do that, and when you actually find the Euclidean distance between these two vectors who are embedded, what is embedding? You convert it from word or paragraphs to the numbers. That's it. Very simple. Characters to numbers. Numbers, Euclidean distance. And from the Euclidean distance, now you can predict what is the next possible thing, because you are looking at that 1,000 dimension space, which is the closest vector I'm looking for. And that is how the AI is predicting. So it's not magic. Definitely not magic. It seems like magic. It feels like magic. It's just like any good hence proved theorem, which you prove it and you think, oh, it's magic, because it is so elegant, right? That is what it is. So before we go next, let's do our good exercise, which is and let's see the results of this. So we have gotten like 30 responses, 20 responses out of 30 people who joined the QR code. And this is like sort of, you can see like how how we all are thinking about AI. This is like, it's an assistant, friend, it's a resource, which is good. Let's do one more, okay? Because most of you said like, oh, AI is like a friend. So what's your friendship status, if I can ask, with AI? You can join now. You can if you join now, you can still answer. And if you have already joined, you can still answer with the same QR code. I love it when I say like it's complicated. Okay. Best friends. That's nice. Anybody who doesn't talk to AI? Yeah. Okay. So we have got 32 joinees here. And we have got like 5 best friends, 2 complicated, 4 complicated, and 1 person doesn't trust it yet. That's fine. I mean, like, uh, any trust, I would say, starts with a distrust. Can start with a distrust, not should, but can. And then slowly, as you understand the other person better, in this case, it's AI, you might start trusting. And even if you don't trust it, at least you should be able to outsource. So think of, if you are not able to think of it as a friend, you can think of it as a professional colleague, right? You might not, you might not always like your colleague, but you might want to take professional help when the time comes. So I see how this is distributed, right? This is like best friends, complicated, I don't trust it, and we don't talk. It's kind of good distribution. Okay, let's move ahead and see what LLMs like ChatGPT can provide us. So from the academic point of view, right, what generic AI is good at? Generic AI is like a smart intern. Some people said like friend, but rather would say like, okay, it's an intern. It knows a lot of things, but it doesn't know everything, and it doesn't know if whatever it knows is correct or not. Because you as a professor, you know more than AI. And I'm not saying because AI has a world of knowledge, it does not have the world of contextual knowledge, the knowledge which you are imparting to your students, right? So do not let this theory that, oh, AI knows everything and we will not have a job, or AI can teach a student. It cannot. It can never teach students, because you need that physical interaction. As long as that physical interaction is the necessity of any generation, I'm not talking about like after 100 years what will happen when robots will teach and robots will learn and students will probably play games. But right now, when the human interaction is a must, you need physical emotional interaction with people. AI is just a smart intern who is helping, who is good at content generation and ideation. So you can actually discuss, brainstorm your things. You can summarize your long text with the AI. You can, do solve some, simplify the complex topic, like, hey, can you explain this to me in like simple languages and things like that, and pattern action. But again, it does hallucinate. What does hallucination means? You can also type in your answers in there. Like I keep saying questions and I don't wait for the answers, and the reason is because we want to cover as much as possible in today's session. But if you like, you can just type in the chat. Feel free to do that. So hallucination is like, you are asking something and it's replying to something, replying something else, and that is because the responses are not grounded on the context from where you are coming, right? And how do human beings understand the context? Like, how do I understand what's your context? Because I had been living or talking to you like for, let's say, 2 years, 4 years, 5 years as a colleague, right? So I understand your context. AI is very new at that, so it does not understand the full context, or does not have a full background where you are coming from. So you cannot just ask one liner question. If you ask one liner question, it will give you a generic response. So you have to give you a full prompt. You do not have time and energy to explain everything from scratch every single time, right? So AI should have like some memories. So, but that memory is only limited to what you have taught your AI. It's not, it is not taking institutional memory, so it does not have institutional context. That syllabus is unknown to that and unknown to AI, right? And it does not have governance or NAC alignment, or any accreditation body alignment. So those are the risks right now for the generic AIs. All right. So before we learn how to use AI, I have prepared like a very simple script where we can all follow some basic prompts on generating a lesson plan. So I saw that the pre-workshop survey said that you want to integrate AI tools into teaching and course design, right? And that's the maximum. 61 people responded to that. So what we will do is like, we'll do a simple exercise. I'll give you the prompts probably in the chat window here, and you can type the prompts in your chat GPT. I will also follow along with you, so we would do it together. I generally do chat GPT in the private mode, so that it does not have my previous context or anything, so that everything comes fresh out of the memory. So like from the pre-trained memory, not the contextual memory. Okay, so we'll do that. But before that, I think people are enjoying this, so let me go and do the next question here. um Please scan the QR code if you have not done it, right? And so here, once you scan it, or if you have already scanned it, what you can do is you can drag and drop. So you can just long press. If you are on the phone, you can long press and drag it here and there. So that will actually rank the rank these four things which I have created. So rank your least favorite tasks. So writing reports, grading, making PPTs, taking attendance. Okay. And believe it or not, like whatever is your least favorite is AI's most favorite. So that way it's a good balance. Well, like writing report is AI's like best capability, right? So making PPTs is still getting there. It's not perfect. It's not there yet fully, but it's going there. It's getting there, and we are working hard, building co-pilots and other stuff, doing that. So let's see, we have 14 15 out of 38 people responded, which is good. I think, okay, I get a sense, like I think like I can do some kind of extrapolation here, saying that writing report is our least favorite thing. Any sort of report, be it like a year end report, or in between like semester report, or any kind of analysis which provide requires a report to be submitted. Probably that's the least favorite thing. Okay, so going back to our original plan, let's go to the prompts, right? um, so this is a context setup. Now what do I mean by the context setup? And let me actually copy this on the chat. Okay, so I pasted it here, and this is a context setup. So context setup is something like you tell your AI what you want and how you want the output to be, right? Like for example, in my case, I have created a new temporary chat here on the right side. So I'm just starting fresh. It's like it has no memory of what I'm talking about, and I have pasted it here, and let's do that. Okay, so you are just training your AI to basically have some kind of pre what we call in human language, right? A preconceived notion. So you want your AI to have a preconceived notion on what it should actually do, right? So if you have your computer ready with you, try to use this prompt and make it ready. That's a prompt number 0. So when I say right, the AI does not have your context. How do you give the context? You keep these prompts ready. We call it prompt 0. You keep the prompt 0 ready always, and always paste that first before asking the question, right? And as you go, like as you move forward, as you understand more about how AI works, you would realize that your prompt 0 will get better and better. So your prompt 0 will have like more details about like how you want your output, and then you can have multiple prompt 0 for different kind of tasks you do in daily life, right? For example, if I'm processing like data, or I'm making a report, I would always tell that, oh, these are the topics, these are the titles, this is how my report should be for Vikrant University. Like this is the template we generally follow. I would tell it that, right? And that's gonna be the prompt 0. So let's see the output. Okay, so it understands my prompt 0 now, and I'm gonna go to the slides, and let's create an initial lesson plan. Okay, the only thing which you need to change, and this is your prompt 1, is you have to input your subject here, and you can input your topic here. Everything else you can actually leave it as such. Okay, let me also do it. So I'm gonna paste it here, and I am changing the subject to computer science, and you can have it any which way. Okay, and uh, I'm changing the topic to binary search tree. Okay, you don't have to understand what it is. If you're not familiar with it, it's totally fine. You are doing your prompting, so do that, and then you will have some kind of a script coming out here. But like I said, I'm not happy with this. because it's a good classroom ready 45 minutes lesson plan on BST designed for undergrad computer science, and it follows, like I said, OBE, like OBD, outcome based design, clear scaffolding and active learning, right? Everything. But it does not have, it might not be perfect. How do I know that? I don't have to know that. I'll ask AI to evaluate that. And that's going to be the prompt number 2, which is self evaluation. Just like you ask your peer, right? Yes.
Mr. Can you listen to me?
I
Yeah, this slide doctor, right?
sorry,
Yes.
I didn't get the question.
Can I ask small question? I mean, there's some small doubt I
Yeah.
want to clarify so that
Yes.
this session can be very understandable, smooth for us. First of all, since you have given some prompt, that's fine.
Mhm.
But if I give the prompt from the professor's standpoint, right? And suppose I'm making this lecture, I'm making lesson plan for the student.
Mhm.
So which perspective I should carry in my prompt? Is it from the student point of view or from the professor point of view? Because see, if I carry the lesson plan from the professor point of view, it would be highly, a standard sort of lesson plan, and that would understand my capacity as a professor. But I'm trying to make this lesson plan for my student. So I'm very confused that where should I start? I should start as a student perspective or professional perspective.
Right. No, absolutely. And great question, sir. Uh, at first, I always want to start as an expert. And then you can actually boil it down to students' point of view, how they can understand. I would later in my demo, I would show you that how you can actually tailor the responses of AI based on the kind of students you teach. And I have the demo set up afterwards. Maybe after 10 minutes or 15 minutes or so, we will go to the demo. In the demo, I would show that you can actually select like what is the mix of your classroom. So, like I said, it's think of it like an elephant, right? And you know every student is different, and as a professor, if I'm blindfolded and if I'm touching the part of elephant, I may describe trunk, I may describe leg, tail, but every student is different, right? So I can never describe an elephant. So our classrooms are like elephants. And it's very difficult to describe the whole classroom by saying, oh, my students are bright, or my students are good, or my students understand everything. Never possible, right? Every student is different, unique in their own viewpoints, understanding the level of understanding, their own background, right? Some people are very good at reasoning, some people are very good in drawing. So we have to consider all that. Having said that, we do have tools available right now. I want to keep the script very generic, but I want to, like, as a professor, I always want to first create a lesson plan which is high level, which has like all the key details. I'm not missing out on anything. I'm following the standards. I'm following like accreditation policies, all set of like curriculum standards, so that if uh, I can easily like boil it down or notch it down a level or two easily. But if I start from like notch it down, we might lose like some of the context for the students who are bright. So but that's my perspective. You can, again, like I said, classroom is an elephant, so you can change your style the way you want. uh, uh
So, Mr.
mhm,
One more question. One more question as a teacher I'm
yeah,
asking
yeah,
because we have to integrate into a learning
right,
process, right, for the
yeah,
students.
yes,
My second question is that why should I go, generic first of all? Why not I should be very specific? Let's say if I'm teaching a course on business ethics, right? And I know there is a one good book, which is ebook I have. So
mhm,
better I should import that book first of all to the chat GPT or any good AI system, let's say Canva AI, we can do it. So I suppose that better strategy that, but we fix this context very well as a professor,
yeah,
as a textbook. I'm following certain textbook to my two students, right? So what I think that giving this generic command is not good idea for a professor, rather
yes.
keeping ebook in chat GPT, then giving the command.
100% agree with you, sir. 100% agree with you on this. And this is my slide number 4 after this. So, like,
Okay, thank
basically,
you, sir.
after 3 more slides, the fourth slide is that why we should not do this. But you have killed my presentation, which is good. So, uh, but that is where I'm heading. And let's see where we
Carry
go.
on.
Okay, thank you so much. Uh, yeah, so okay, next is prompt number 2, which is self-evaluation, like reflection layer, right? So now shift your role and act as an expert teaching coach and evaluator. So it's like your colleague, it can be your peer, or it can be like a senior professor in your field who can actually, uh, uh, evaluate your if your lesson plan actually fits all the standards, and what is the rating of your lesson plan in the in different scales, like what is the clarity of explanation, student engagement, and depth of understanding. And obviously we all like we know that we want 10 10 10 here. It's not possible because student engagement is a very very subjective thing, like a professor told me, like explained just now, right? So how can we increase that? Like, can we include like activity which everybody can participate, just like I did, right? I am asking you guys to take survey, which is like sort of an activity where we want like active engagement, right? And we want to increase the depth of understanding, and that cannot come unless we explain everything properly, right? And that covers procedure. So it actually has provided us that what is the problem, what are the actionable improvement in the lesson plan. So far we have not used second tool or third tool. We are using a single tool, but we have to keep writing all these prompts to get it better, right? Or you could do like a single prompt with all these prompts combined and give it to chat gpt, but probably that might not be the best approach because it hallucinates very easily. If you give like two prompts, it always reads, okay, I have to be evaluator and developer. It's like, okay, let me start with as an evaluator, which is not always the best choice, right? So we always ask our students generally, right, when you are teaching, that come up with the first draft and then I will give you the feedback. Like you are their evaluator. But you cannot say like, okay, I'll give you the feedback first and you evaluate. Then then you come up with the first draft. Never works. Then we lose the thinking of that student, right? We lose their ideas, their innovations. So this is the second prompt. Let's move forward. We do have like a lot of these prompts which are actually very curated for specific departments right now, because of the audience size and kind of like interaction we are having. uh, we are not able, like I'm not able to provide specific prompts which are like more detailed, which are more system prompts, admin prompts, user prompts kind of thing. So this one is called intelligent upgrade. What does it mean? This prompt does is that iterative enhancement based on the its own feedback. So it provided us the feedback. I asked ChatGPT, can you evaluate yourself based on the prompts we have provided, based on the lesson plan, right? And now redo it. Now it started bringing like additional examples, more ideas, explicit bridging properties, misconception, right? And I'm posting all the prompts here, so please feel free to follow. Due to the time, we will just proceed to the next prompt. Now, one of the problems which I have seen is that students are actually taking your question, they are again pasting on AI, and they are actually trying to solve the problem with that, with the AI, right? So where's the learning? If professors are using AI, students are learning using AI is learning everything, right? So the transmission is not from student professor to student. The transmission is from professor to AI and student to AI, and AI is learning everything. We don't want that. And that is when the AI resistant assessment comes handy. What is AI resistant assessment? That means you can teach any which way, but you want to make sure that when students are responding, they are answering your questions, right? They, even if they use AI, they will not be able to get the answers either as quickly as the time permits, or up to the mark, unless they actually have the understanding of the concepts. You might remember, like some of you might be following the open book exams. We have like in US it's very common. When I was a grad student here, when I was doing my PhD, I we had like one or two courses in which we had open book exam. You can take like one book of your choice to the classroom, to the exam room, and you can actually open the book and find the answers. And I'm telling you, like 80% of the students, everybody has the book in their hand, but they are not able to answer properly and not able to get the A grade or like the best grade, right? Whatever is available. And why is that? Everybody has the book. it's not just having the book in hand, right? It's also about if you can actually if you understand the concept, if you understand the topic, and if you understand, if you can actually articulate your answers the way the question is articulated. In the book it might be worded differently, it might be explained differently, conceptually it might be different. And that, because of that, it's not always possible for students to come up with the ready-made answers using AI. And that is where your AI resistant assessment comes handy. Let's try this prompt. And I'll in the demo I'll also show you like how can we actually do that faster, this whole iteration what we are doing right now. So now it has created an authentic AI resistant assessment that emphasize authentic understanding while remaining practical for a 45 minutes class, right? So it starts with a real world scenario, students tasks, all those things. You can try it yourself. So I don't want to, because the topic is might be very different than what you generally teach. So we don't want to go through the content. The more focus is on like the process here. And finally, you can generate the teaching script. So this fifth prompt is like based on what we have done, right? Okay, so evaluation criteria, all those things are provided here. And the final thing is about generating that teaching script, what to say, when to say, and how to practice. I'm sure you might not need this, and I'm sure you had been doing this like for many years, so you might not need it. But think of somebody who's like an assistant professor who has just joined the college, right? Just joined the university, and they might need some help with that. So there are two ways. They can take help directly from seniors who might be busy at the moment doing research, R&D, other tasks, right? So this might come handy, and this is like a teaching script, right? It tells you like what are the misconceptions you can talk about, and what are the step-by-step questions and things like that. So like I promised, I said, oh, we don't want to just keep talking about what AI can do in terms of the prompting, right? But we also want to talk about like what is the gap. And as sir rightly pointed out, there are gaps. One, it does not map to your COs, whatever your course outcome was, because we never talked about those, right? And course outcomes might be different for different kind of at different phases of your teaching. In the early semester, your course objective is like just to explain, and then later half of your semester you might say like, oh, analysis is more important as a course outcome, and then or like understanding is more important, things like. So your COs also evolve as you actually progress through the semester, right? And explaining that to a generic AI like ChatGPT is very difficult. So generic tools create more work because you have to manually format, map, and fact check. And that is exactly what your point was. Does it align with the accreditation criteria? Probably not. Maybe, we don't know. Is it in the template, university template? Is it actually designed for your own university, or is it like a very generic template? We don't know that, right? So what is the AI trap? We don't want to get trapped. So this is why we say like, uh don't fall into like this trap that it doesn't know what you taught last year, or your specific department specific guidelines or accreditation requirement, right? So we need to follow some academic guidelines, academic rules, right? And if you're using AI, you have to declare that it's an AI generated content. There is no harm in that. Like right now, I have talked to many people, and the mindset is that even if we generate with AI, we try to avoid saying that it's generated with AI. And it says it is like, okay, I have done it myself, take all the credit. The thing is like, if there is a mistake there, right, you are owning the mistake also. If there is an error in the outcomes, you are owning those errors also. So it's generally, at least from the student's point of view, and there is no such reasoning or an idea in ChatGPT to always come up with the templates which always say that, okay, I'm generated with this tool or that tool, right? It's the generic text you copy paste. Obviously there are some filler markers which we add when you write AI based text. Like for example, we add some kind of invisible text in between that in the text. You might have heard about that. And a developer can find out whether it's an AI generated or not. But in general, it's very difficult.
So, Mr.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes, go ahead, please.
At this point, very very important juncture we are actually,
Mm-hmm.
because we are talking about the course outcomes,
Mm-hmm.
and you know that in all the world class academic system, course outcomes are aligned with the program outcomes.
Yeah.
And program. So here I suppose that using AI in generic manner, and even if I say that, look, I have used this AI, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't sound very responsible as an academician, and it doesn't sound very responsible as a university academic system using AI by simply citing it. Because you see, professors are committed to create some credible original academic systems. That's why professors are trained. They have done PhD. They have gone through their system, subject development,
Yeah.
academic development. So what I suppose that here, this is a very important juncture where program outcomes are aligned with the course outcomes. So here I think that professor must be very responsible in using AI,
Yes,
and they
absolutely.
should be very original. We should refrain saying that we can use AI and simply cite the source.
Yes.
I am against of it somehow. I don't know
Definitely,
what's your point of view.
definitely. And I think that's a very good debate point for some other time. But right now, what I would say is like, if it's inevitable now, right? It's inevitable that people will use AI, are using already using AI. The problem where which I see right now is that people are using AI but not taking the responsibility of the content. So I have seen within my own organization, in outside world also, when I talk to people, when okay, somebody has written a piece of document or a code, and you say like, oh, it doesn't actually, it is not good, like it's not good enough, it's not what I asked you to do. And then the response which comes back is that, oh, sorry, it was generated with AI. So so when it comes to mistake, people are not owning it, but when it comes to like generation, people are doing it. So either we do not use it at all, which is frankly not possible in 2026. It's inevitable. If you're not using, you probably, you are like, we are lagging behind. We have to responsibly use it. So I would say like, we don't have to use it as a like I think your the audience rightly said that we have to use it as a friend, but we don't have to take every advice the friend gives, right? So probably we can discuss a little bit more in like smaller setting, these kind of issues. But we have to again come up with at least university level framework, where like how much of AI usage is allowed, where it is allowed, where it is not allowed, right? A policy, I'm talking about like university wide policy, institutional policy. And I, in my demo, I'll also show you that how we can actually do that. So finally, actually, let's I had been talking for a long time, and I know you guys are waiting for the next survey question. So let's do this one. uh, this is and this aligns with what you asked, sir, like whether AI assistant is needed for your teaching and work, or like would you use it or not use it. Please give your responses, and we'll get a feel of the room here. Right, yeah, need training on, that's a valid response, because as I see, like if you use it without training, there are more chances that you are creating more work for yourself. And the reason is very simple, like if I'm using something and it's getting something generated, and I have to review it again, like the chat gpt response is like 10 pages long, and if I have to review 10 pages, it takes that much of time. And if I have to write just a one pager, I would just write one pager, right? So uh, getting training is, of course, like yeah, it's a valid response that okay, I want to use it, maybe I'll use it, but I need a little bit more training on that side. Right. So yeah, I think it's an equal distribution here with first and second question. not yet is like I said, it's not possible, it's inevitable, it's not feasible in 2026 not to use AI. So that actually kind of aligns with what I was thinking I would get a response for this survey question, which is good.
Good morning.
And
Uh, Sir, I had a question. I might be taking a little detour, but is it okay if I put up a question, sir?
sorry, I didn't.
So my question is, sir, I just wanted, I'm taking a little detour. I just wanted to ask a question regarding quick citations. So when we are using, and I guess many of us use Scholarly or Scholar GPT
Yeah.
for our references,
Mm-hmm.
and on actually going like on doing this deep dive research, we actually tend to find that many of these citations are fake. So, sir, is there a way to actually, or a script to actually validate the citations so that ChatGPT does not really flood us with unnecessary citations and
Yeah.
only actually give us better citations which are academically proven?
Yeah. No, definitely. So let's say you are using archive, right? And you want to make sure that all the archive level tools like archive itself or Google Scholar or like those, only those articles are, or ResearchGate, only those articles are actually used, and not the other Bloomberg or some news channel articles, right? Which are very generic in nature. And it is possible to ground the AI systems with the with the resources, with the right resources. We do have tools available for that. So in maybe like in next 2-3 minutes we will go to the demo, because I know it's already late for you.
Because I have used Jelly and I also have been using Jasper and all
Mm-hmm.
this,
Yeah.
but it's very cumbersome when you
It
have to
is.
really check for each and every reference. And then the tools like Scholarly, Scholastic are also like really cumbersome. So many times what happens like ChatGPT, we can, if we happen to read a particular work and we understand that this particular work is not really
Yeah.
relevant to the work, and then we actually tell ChatGPT like what you have done is
That's,
wrong.
yeah, that's
So
why my
then
whole
it corrects, and so how to actually develop that trust with these LLMs, sir?
yeah. No, I get, I hear you. And that is why we are actually moving towards specialized LLMs, right? So it's a typical FPGA versus ASIC problem. If you know, you know, right? Where like you have generic hardware versus specialized hardware, right? So generic hardware plus software is always slow versus specialized hardware, and we know that. See, it's the same problem. You have a generic tool right now which is not specialized in doing things, but we are expecting it to do specialized work. It's not able to do. That's why we are actually moving towards like specialized tools which are specialized to do a specific thing. And that is where we are heading. I'm gonna move forward because it's a start of the day for us. Uh, so what we have done so far is we have built this tool called OmniFlow, and it's built for university workflow like yours, right? So let's quickly go through, like, if we have time, like to the demo which I had been promising for a long time now. Right, just give me 1 second. Localhost. Okay, awesome. So you can use a number of tools, but again you want something which is fast, which is reliable, and which you can use in your day-to-day life without having like that the notion which we all talked about, that should we cite AI or not, or should we like is are the responses grounded, are all the sources correctly cited, or the citations correct or not, is it following COPO mapping or not, right? So those kind of things. So this I have tailored the demo for Vikrant University, and this like um again, the names in the demo are like not correct, so please forgive me for that. And the reason is like uh, it's just a demo, so it's not like properly mapped to everything. So some of the outcomes results might not be, because I don't have access to the internal data, so just forgive me for that. But let's do the demo. And there are like multiple demo accounts I've created here. One is the VC uh, HOD, faculty of law, agriculture, and all those. So let's go to the VC first, right? So if you go to the VC, here you have like different tools available: Teach Flow, Accredi Flow, Integrity Flow, Library, Community, Notes, integrations to your existing tools, and governance. Okay, what what can you do as a VC, right? Like you want to see like if your accreditations are being followed or not. So how many course outcomes are there? How many program outcomes are there? What is the mapping between those outcomes, right? For all the schools, like let's is what's the weight given, or can you add COs and POs? What is the metrics, right? So what's your COPO metric? Things like what's your attainment, right? So how much of these are actually targeted and how much of these are achieved, and what is the evidence vault? And this is especially needed for the accreditation services, like policies, right? So then I'm just going very fast here. Teach flow, we will go through the teach flow. If you go through the teach flow, the roles are very limited. Like there's not a lot of things a VC should do in the teach flow section. So when we'll go to HOD account, probably we'll see more things populated here. There's also integrity flow, which is like a policy generator, right? And you should be able to generate policy either from the templates, or you should be able to generate a new policy altogether with the help of AI, refine it, make sure that it's actually compliant, right? And then is publicized to everybody within the university. In the resources library sections, you can ask OmniFlow some questions. It's just like your chat agent, but it's grounded. So read this. OmniFlow only answers based on your uploaded resources, right? It will not make up information. If the answer isn't in your documents, upload more relevant sources. And this is, I think, your question, right? Like how can we ground the responses to the documents we uploaded or the links we have provided? You can provide some scholarly links, right? Like if I'm doing my work, probably I'll just go to Scholar, to my profile, and I say like, okay, my previous work is this, right? So I'll just click on this and then PDF, and then I'll just say like, okay, copy this link and paste it there. And I say like, okay, uh, use this Mobicom paper, and use this for answering the responses. So now I'm very much ground, because my research work has nothing to do with somebody else's research work, and unless I'm actually learning from them, right? So there are like millions of research papers out there in the same topic on the same topic. I want to make sure that I'm actually taking forward my own research in a way, like be an independent professor in a way, right? That's the track we all follow. So that's that. There is also a resource finder. There are like various tools available here, resources. We'll dig a little bit deeper, and you can upload the resource right there, right here, right? In the community section, you can actually open the notice board. You can post question, like things, to all the faculty members. You can share the links, and all these things is keep actually, like if you are actually publishing an artifact is something like a small AI prompt or AI tool which you have used yourself and you think others might benefit. Why not like send it to everybody? Or like, let's say you are a senior or seasoned professor, right? Creates a lesson plan which aligns with COPO and everything, and then actually publish it as an artifact and ask your faculty members, like who are juniors or assistant professors or new hires, that use this format, right? So that it's actually like students get a unified experience. Because chat gpt, the biggest problem, like the better your prompt is, the you get like you get different responses depending upon who is asking, right? For the integrations, you have like Moodle, LMS, Samarth ERP, Microsoft Teams, Google Drive. All these integrations are possible. Uh, and then you can also have like external tools linked here. So like all these resources which we are grounding our tool on, right? DPDP guidelines, NBA, OB resources, NAC, Bloom taxonomy. And for the governance, this is actually where the roles can be managed. So like you can manage roles that who can see what. Not everybody needs to know about accreditation, not everybody needs to know about integrations, how it's done or what can be done or disabled, enabled, right? So those kind of things, templates and audit log. Now, this is a rollback access control. So your VC, head of department, students, everybody has like their own level of let me quickly go through the HOD section of this, where I promise that there will be like more things to do in the teach flow part, where you can actually create the lesson plans, you can do the assessments, you can generate the artifacts. Let's go to the lesson planner, right? So you can actually pick a school. I'm sorry to pick engineering school because that's where I belong from, but the tool does not differentiate between any professor. So data structure, next step. I'm creating a week 1 plan for 60 minutes with a topic. Let's say we created for binary search tree, right? So let's do the same thing here. What is your course outcome for this? Let's say understand and analyze, and you can create more COs, right? And you can set the temperature, which is like what is your control phrasing variation to output, like is it consistent or more varied? You can change it, and then you can say like generate the lesson plan, and your lesson plan is generated, and then you can save it to artifact, right? So artifact is your internal library where year over year you will actually have a consistent lesson planning, reviewing, right? So like if somebody else is reviewing your plans, it's all there on the platform. And then you can also export it to your local machine and maybe present, create the, but this is important. This is where I was actually trying to answer some of the questions professor had, right? Which is like, I have verified the accuracy of the content. If you don't check that and if you try to save it, it won't let you save it. So ultimately, we want humans to be responsible. HITL, human in the loop, and human in the loop is very necessary because the systems are bound to fail. Any system we build, there will be bugs, there will be issues, but if the human in the loop is there, we will at least make sure that we are actually using our best judgment, best whatever we have learned over the years, over the last many years of into the educational system, right? We know what it is like to be like taught something wrong. If a professor teaches something wrong to a student, like something which does not align or is like a conceptual mistake, that haunts them for life, and we don't want that. So it has to be like verified, citations are valid, no student personal data is included, that is very important, we don't want to differentiate, and content aligns with selected course outcomes, and then you can save it to your own artifact, right? But more than that, you can also go to the AI studio. What it lets you do it is like it lets you create like all these things in a single go, align to your own course mapping, program objectives, right? For example, let's say go to this, I select the course data structure again, and I want to create it for week number 1, and let's say binary search tree, and then I want to create what kind of material, right? I want to create a flipped classroom. What is flipped classroom? You want to create the content first or share it first, and then in class you will just focus on the application of it, right? Or you can create the seminar or case based learning or lab first. Let's say lecture plus interactive. You can set the duration here. This is very important, the class ability. So one of the professor, like I think you asked me that what is like, what happens if like should I use my chat GPT to tell that okay, this is how my content should be, it should be. So here you can set that, you can set multilingual, you can set large class, you can set low prerequisite, like students needs more scaffolding. That means students actually need more help while using this lesson, or mix ability, that is diverse learners, like everybody has, every class is a mix ability mostly. And then you can set the course outcomes here, right? Let's say apply and understand, and then you can use your own grounding resources. So resources which you uploaded, like let's say you uploaded a book, right? You can actually select that book here. Like for example, I uploaded engineering data structure complete guide, so I'm selecting that as my grounding resource. That means the whole thing should come out from that book and that book only, right? And once you do that and say like generate my weekly pack, it comes in a better format. In the demo, it's not coming out to be in the better format, but it generally gives you like everything. Week 1 teaching pack of topic, learning outcomes. It gives you the classroom script, right? It gives you active learning activities, think, pair, share, or like any other activities you want to do, 3-tier task. What are the misconceptions? What is the level 1, level 2? What is the exit ticket? Like, what do you want to ask your questions in the end to ascertain that their understanding is actually correct or on the topic you taught, right? What are the resource map, CO coverage? Like, how much is the CO covered, right? Key definitions, and then there is also an optional Hindi glossary here, right? So term 1, what is the meaning of that and all. Okay, you can export this whole material in the zip, and you can also publish internally, but you can also use it as your delivery method. So this is like your practice platform where you can practice your uh, delivery with the coach. That means like before even you go into the classroom, you are actually practicing. And this is especially true for newcomers. I'm not saying everybody needs it, but this is sort of like, so if you enter the delivery mode, it gives you like a script, and script by script prompts that, good morning everyone, today we are diving into binary search tree. Before we start, I want you to consider this, and like you can imagine how it can be useful. And it also gives you like real-time feedback on how your delivery is. You can also adapt your delivery based on the students feelings, how they are feeling, and that you can over the period of time you would know like what I'm talking about. um, Assessment pack, so you can generate like internal test, end semester exam, viva, practical exams, all that in a single click shot, right? For the assessment builder alone, let's say again, I take this, take this, and let's say this is a final exam. Okay, this is a final exam of 100 marks. It lets me pick what kind of difficulty levels I'm actually aiming for. So am I going like too easy, too difficult? And in the start of the semester, I would say like start with like easy and then keep moving towards like harder and harder, right? Like mid level. And then you can set the temperature variations, and then you can say like generate assessment. So it will first give you a blueprint of what's the distribution of the items, what is the distribution of COPO which you had generated, and then finally it will also give you like all the questions here with 10 questions which we generated. And again, you can save it to artifacts, you can export, you can regenerate also if you're not happy with this, right? And the artifact library is where all the generated like week pack of binary search tree which we just generated, it's available to you locally, but you can also share it if you want, but you can use it locally for yourself, right? So that's about all about the teach flow. And on the dashboard you should be able to see like holistically like how many artifacts you have, what is the accredited flow, integrity, governance, right? uh, as an HOD, you should also be able to see like which students are actually at the risk, right? Because of attendance or because of other things like which we are manually tracking right now. And then you can actually ground the responses the way you want. But this is kind of thing which I would say like we are trying to going towards, where everything is there in the platform, and the platform is actually backend connected to multiple tools, and the platform is again integrable to the existing infrastructure, like whatever infra you are using currently, right? So we don't know about that. So this is it. This is a one click week pack. We already talked about the lesson planning. Equity flow, we talked about integrity flow. I didn't talk about it much, but it's about like you can design AI resistant assessments. So basically like you can, instead of asking questions, like solve them, like basically create like AI resistant strategy, like uh, oral answers, right? Like viva questions. So that's an AI resistant strategy, because very limited chance that somebody can cheat in the viva. It's very difficult. So uh, process logs, yeah.
Mr. Is it not Power BI inbuilt software which give you more, objective results? I mean, data for you, how teachers performing, how courses running, how students are, online, offline,
Mhm.
assignment status. So Power BI is more, used in the, foreign universities also. So, is it not inbuilt with the Power BI system also? This software?
Yeah. I mean, like you can, so you can think of it as is like your front end for all the backends. So right now we are using a lot of front ends, and everybody is using different front end. Like I'm using ChatGPT, somebody is using Perplexity, somebody is using Gemini. The problem is like everybody is coming up with their own structure. It might not follow the standards and all. So this is
But I see good universities are using Power BI,
yeah.
not
So
ChatGPT.
we can definitely use the Power BI, but Power BI is
Yes.
just it's a platform to for the more toward geared towards visualization. This is teaching is more about like I would say like conceptual understanding, right? So
I am not agreeing with this answer because it is more about visualization in terms of lesson, in terms of training, in terms of PPT. It's more
again
about imagination.
we can we can discuss in person, but
Yes,
I'm not saying like current tools are not capable, or like Power BI is not. I
right.
work in Microsoft, so I is like if you use Power BI, my stock goes up. So I I'm more than happy if you use Power BI. Right? So but I'm just saying like I've seen the practical limitations, and we know like from inside we are coming outside, right? So like there's a little bit of perspective which goes into this when we design things like this. But I get it, like uh, it's also again about that elephant thing, right? Like everybody has different view of what AI is, like we saw that in the first question, right? It's a friend, it's a
I mean,
companion.
I'm telling from my experience. Actually, I'm not stating,
No,
the agent because I also
I'm not debating
four
it with you, sir.
universities.
I'm not
They
debating.
they all are using Power BI inbuilt system.
Yeah. There are lot of systems. So Power BI is the Microsoft version of it,
Yes,
and there are also like Google
yes.
versions of things. There are also Amazon version of things. So you can use many tools. Um, all right. Finally, okay. So this is like my last slide, which is like AI does not replace teachers. We already know that it replaces the administrative drudgery, and that is I have been very clear about it that human in the loop is an important component, and we don't want to teach AI. We want to teach our students, and that's the ultimate goal, right? And that goal can be achieved in like various ways, right? So various tools, various things. So that is the end of my presentation actually. And before we go, I just want to do that exercise just one more time, right? Which is like write one word about today's session, and it will be helpful for us to cater to the audience later on. It had been like 1 hour and 15 minutes, so we don't want to hold you into the room for long, but at the same time we do want the feedback. It helps us grow. And this is a really good setting. Lot of attendees, thank you so much for your support, sir. And thank you for keeping it engaging and asking a lot of interesting questions. It really helps us think, ponder about like, okay, what actually professors, on ground professors, are actually thinking, rather than sitting in a room and designing things. So uh, for those who are wondering where I was teaching, I was in CMR IT University College in Bangalore. So I was actually working in Samsung, like for 3 4 years, and then I took a break of a year to go into the teaching side of things. So I became an assistant professor there before I started my PhD, which is long back. So and then I came to the States for the PhD, and then stayed here with Microsoft. So that's like sort of the journey. uh yeah, I mean, like, it was really good talking to you all. If you have any last comments, questions, please feel free to speak now. I had been speaking for a long time.
It was
Thank
nice
you.
session, sir. And it was quite easy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sumit sir. So I have two questions. I think you can now add some valuable insights.
Mhm,
Especially, I just want to understand from your global experience, even from uh,
mhm.
another guest, what structured or roadmap would you like to recommend for a university like us to systematically transition into an AI enabled institution? Whether it should start from curriculum interventions or faculty
Yeah.
empowerment, infrastructure readiness,
Mhm.
and especially a lot of people and especially the professors will debate on ethical governance, which should also be aligned.
Yeah. No, very good question, sir. And I had personally had been thinking about like what are the problems in an institution such as yours, which is a very big institution, big university, and there are four pillars, right? The first pillar is the faculties, second is the students, third is the administration, and fourth is indirectly or directly government because of the governance or accreditation or whatever, right? So each of these pillars you can solve with AI. First, faculties, if they can teach smarter, they can use smart tools, smart systems, smart things. That is needed because students expect that. Now, when somebody does not use the smart tool, like remember how we used to use the laser pointer like 10 years back, and students were like, wow, right? And the PowerPoint presentation was not very common 20 years back in the classrooms. And like when very few professors, I remember like one or two professors will use it, everybody will use the chalkboard. But now, with the smart classrooms, things are changing. Second, so that is the faculty is teaching smarter. Second, students learning faster or better. That, how can that happen? That is again possible with the smart tools, smart systems. Third, administration has to be efficient. I don't know about yours. My administration was average. So say, and I don't want to criticize anybody, but administration efficiency means if something is getting submitted, 24 hours, you get approval, you move forward with the usage of the technology. Artifacting is one example. Like let's say you proposed a lesson plan and it takes one week for that lesson plan to get approved or that CO to get approved. It becomes very hasslesome to for somebody who is like a professor who's a newcomer, that okay, I can actually use these tools. It's like okay, it might not get approved so fast. So administration efficiency, and finally, whatever accreditation we talk about, they should be easy. There should not be additional hassle that after 3 years, if NAC is coming to the institute, every professor is like, okay, I want to get the accreditation renewed. It should not be that task. It should be like, okay, it's a part of the process. As we are teaching, we are already following all the goals, all the outcomes, everything, right? And regarding the suggestion, again, I'm like, you know much better about all this, but I just want to add my points, which is this, that we can like this is the right time. If you do not have an AI lab or a smart lab in the university, maybe it's the time that build a smart lab, AI lab, which has like all these capabilities. Because and it should not be like, oh, you are using ChatGPT. Like with our expertise, with Sanjeev sir's expertise, we also have resources who can do everything offline. So we have built recently a tool which works off the cloud. What that means is that your university data stays with you. You do not have to even be connected to the internet, just the intranet connectivity with VPN, and you get everything grounded, including the models. So there are a lot of open source models now which are available, which can be hosted on university server, which can be locally served to all the students, so that everything remains grounded. And what we are talking about is saving like millions of dollars of cost over the years, paying to the cloud companies. I know I'm hitting my leg with the hammer here, but
Yeah.
this is the reality, and that is where world is moving.
Yeah.
Actually, they
Yeah.
want to ground their data within their own campus. So
So,
if
so
yeah,
go ahead, Sumit. You finish.
I was just completing. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for the feedback.
Yeah.
It's been really
Yeah.
nice.
So Sumit, I think you brought really good points, and again, like now uh, AI, like it's up to us how we use the tool. Like are we using just like this AI for replacing the thinking of a student, or enhancing the thinking of a student? And the same, like AI, we can use like create like some AI tool to create some draft of any report or course or syllabus, anything, and then we can use our expertise to really make it specialized or whatever, so it's on us. Because if we remember 40 years or 50 years back, calculators, they were not allowed even an exam, you need to, everyone needs to do their own calculation. But later on, yeah, means I think really the focus was not because you have large calculations. If someone's doing in the class, they cannot really solve the questions whatever they supposed to be. So just use the calculator, and then it was just allowed. So same like now AI, if we can just like use this as an additional tool where our thinking, innovation, and whatever like the professors they have like their scholarship. So I think that those things can be, but this could be as a tool. It's not substitute, as Sumit mentioned. Like this is not going to replace professors, but it's going to give some more tools. Okay, and then like either like it's a Power BI or Chat GPT, whatever it is. It depends like what really like different needs. It's organization, institutions, and everything. So we have to just narrow down what would be the right tool for us. Okay, and then it's sometimes like best practices. We need to learn from the peers also, because like some of other best universities, whatever like even IITs, like I have just friends like in IITs and IIMs and institutions, really like that really like is very first place for innovation, because all these things, whatever like technology comes, first it comes out from universities only. Okay, so really like Vikrant, and then just Sumit and myself, both of us, we are from MP. Okay, so we are just like a product of just MP, like in school, college, whatever it is. So the other students, I was also just, I was not very bright student. I can say, just admit, average student. But only thing, we got the environment, we got like some mentorship, and slowly we improved. We had like set like some bar high and try to achieve it. Okay, I did my uh, education in Gwalior, Bhopal, and came to US in 95, 96. I did my master's from here, okay, from Brandeis University or whatever thing. Sumit, he was just like fortunate. He gone to IIT and just various other good institutions. So it is all about like if we can create good environment, and that's going to just like help.
Okay, perfect, sir. So just would like to end. Before that, I would like to add something over here. One of my fellow colleague has asked the detailed question about how to use ChatGPT. So there is a very simple process. Even I do also use the same process. It is a 5-step process. First, set the context. When you are writing a prompt, first set the context. No, and then second is the task. What exactly you want to get it done with the AI? Define your task. First, set the context. Second, define the task. And third, instructions, how to do it. You have to tell the AI, otherwise it is a plenty of information will put your entire system with lot of information. Ultimately, you will get the garbage. The second is clarity. It is really very important whether I should come from the main gate, or I should come from the second gate, or I should come from the back gate, whether I should take the references from a particular source or not. So clarity is very much clear. So first is context, second is task, third is instruction, fourth is clarity, and last is refine. If you're not getting your output as you have planned or as you have deemed, you have to once again refine your prompt. This is one of the best strategy which usually most of the people are utilizing it. You can also work on that and you will definitely get wonderful outcomes.
So, sir,
Yes, sir.
I mean, Professor Drew had some different issue. I mean, we have a sole person who don't understand it well. Actually, he is using multiple resources in terms of referencing, right? So sometimes what happens when we go through ChatGPT and simply we ask for references, so ChatGPT can give you general references, and they may not be based on the right information about the authors and papers. So what is my take on this? Be a responsible researcher. You must cite only those researches which you have actually. You have to cite it responsibly. That is the question of the academic integrity and research integrity also.
As far as research is concerned, I think we should not go for ChatGPT, because ChatGPT is not meant for especially the research. There are other tools like Perplexity is one of the tool which you can use for the research. Grok is one of the tool which you can also use for research writings if you are interested in that. But ChatGPT is more about the report writing and getting the content. Okay, so I think we have to wind up. You all might be waiting to leave the office. You are still in the office. So I would like to once again thank to Sumit Maheswari sir and Sanjeev sir for giving their valuable time to our faculty members and providing a grassroots understanding of various concepts of artificial intelligence and how to integrate them into the teaching and learning processes. And regarding this demo, it will be really great if you can share some demos with Anand sir. I think you are already in touch with Anand sir. So if you can share some demo uh, credentials with the Anand sir, we can go through with this and then can come up with the questions as well. Okay. So once again, thank you so much for giving us a time, and thank you everyone, all the faculty members, Anand sir, and every organizer, and Madam Anchor Madam, for hosting this wonderful workshop. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Have a great time ahead.
Okay, thanks a lot. Greatly appreciate.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. So, as we conclude today's workshop, I am sure the insights shared have inspired us to rethink education in the age of artificial intelligence. Thank you, everyone, for your participation. Have a wonderful day ahead. And there is one more announcement for everyone. I request all faculty members to kindly fill out the Google form